Last week brought the stunning collapse of Silicon Valley Bank, the second largest bank to ever collapse in the United States. And if that wasn't enough, it was soon followed by the collapse of Signature Bank, an institution that had listed more than $10 billion in assets before imploding. Why did this happen? How might it impact the world of crypto? And could there be a surprising upside that's good for your assets? Keep watching to find out. Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank collapse. Let's begin by taking a look at why Silicon Valley Bank failed. It wasn't a case of fund mismanagement or fraud like at FTX. Instead, it was ironically the bank's desire to do right by its customers that led to its historic collapse. The issue for SVB began when the Federal Reserve began raising interest rates to fight inflation last year. Before that, SVB had invested a sizable amount of funds into federal bonds, which have historically been one of the safest types of investments. However, when interest rates went up, the value of the bonds declined. At the same time, the technology sector was experiencing an overall decline, and many of SVB's customers began withdrawing excess cash from their accounts to continue funding their operations. As interest rates continued going up and the bank's cash reserves continued dwindling, it was forced to sell its federal bonds at a loss. When the bank announced what it had done, it spooked depositors, who began withdrawing their funds from SVB in bulk, sparking a classic bank run. However, many analysts are saying that it was actually the bank's public messaging around its situation that sparked the bank run and led to its collapse. The CEO announced publicly that the bank was experiencing these challenges before privately lining up the funding needed for it to ride out the storm, which would have been relatively easy to do. At the end of the day, it was this misstep that sparked widespread panic. So if the CEO would have delayed the announcement until lining up the necessary funding, maybe none of this would have happened. Signature Bank's collapse was caused by what happened to Silicon Valley Bank. The financial institution has a similar customer profile to SVB, with large depositors who have more funds in their accounts than the FDIC insures. These companies and individuals were fearful of widespread economic panic in the wake of SVB's collapse, and inadvertently caused Signature Bank to fail as a result of trying to withdraw tens of billions of dollars in a single day. What this means for crypto. There are two main reasons why these bank collapses are relevant in the world of crypto. The first is that Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank were two of the largest banking partners for crypto institutions. BlockFi, Circle, Yuga Labs, and many other big names in crypto stored their funds at SVB and Signature Bank. This means the collapse of those banks put the treasuries of those companies at risk. This was especially worrisome in Circle's situation, since it's the creator of the USDC stablecoin. Crypto investors began swapping their USDC for USDT en masse, which led to one of the most significant depegs in USDC's history, with the stablecoin sinking as low as 87 cents at one point. However, since then USDC has reclaimed its dollar peg, and the price of crypto assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum have actually gone up considerably. That brings us to the second reason why the situation matters to crypto holders. The collapse of two major banks in a single week is putting significant strain on our financial system. There are many analysts who are now predicting that the Federal Reserve will be forced to either cut rates or stop rate hikes in response to this situation. If that happens, then the price of all risk assets, including crypto, would climb considerably. This is because when interest rates go down, money is cheaper, and risk asset prices typically increase. The bottom line is that the collapse of these two banks may be the beginning of the end of the Federal Reserve's rate increases, which could lead to the next bull market. What do you think about this? Will the collapse of SVB and Signature Bank hurt crypto? Or could it lead to the next bull run? Comment your answer below to let us know. If you're interested in learning more about crypto, the metaverse, and NFTs, make sure to obliterate that like button and subscribe.